This is Bite-Sized History with the Saints. Hi everyone, it's Megan.
And it's Bradley.
So we are filming this a little bit late.
That's my fault.
Yeah,
I'm on a new medication and it is kicking my butt.
yeah, and we completely lost track of the day. And it's only 10 a.m. So from there, we're going to be talking this week about the recipe for this next weekend. But before we get into that, I wanted to announce some exciting news. Celebration noises! Starting on Wednesday this week, March 1st, we are launching a Kickstarter to make a cookbook.
Yeah, we've been hinting towards it, but we never really officially said what it was.
Yeah, because we didn't want to bring it up too early and people not have any interest in it. But we have secured a publisher.
Yeah.
We know a publishing schedule for it. So at this point, we feel really confident that we can hit the Kickstarter goal.
With your help.
Exactly. I put a great blog post up where I explain, what the benefits are of this cookbook versus just going to the website. And a lot of it's going to be, we want this to be something you can reference for not just recipes. There's a huge gap in the market right now of, food history kind of text that's not like gibberish or written so academic wise.
Or the paleo diet
Oh,
BS. All of that is utter nonsense. And I'm sorry if you do paleo diet, but it's wrong.
well, that's the thing. The paleo diet can be fine, but it's not what the Paleolithic humans ate.
Yeah, we like the idea of excluding honey. Honey was one of the main components to what we ate,
Or nuts.
or nuts. Those are all extremely important to, our diet. Have always been important to our diet.
Well, and it's like the idea of cutting down carbs. You probably should cut down refined carbs, but cutting down carbs in general for a high protein diet does not a happy person make.
Yeah, and that's the problem is that the idea of it focusing largely on meats, meat wasn't always guaranteed.
Yeah.
It wasn't always something that you had access to.
I think if most people in modern days had to go out and hunt their own food, they would not be eating meat.
Yeah, no. And I mean, and that's why it's literally called hunting and gathering. It's two things that went together to make a dietary, decisions for us. And yeah, so paleo diet's wrong.
But so what we're going to be focusing on a lot is the actual science behind it. How do we know certain foods were present in these areas? Great illustrations, high-res photos, and also with some of these recipes, especially the older ones, we're going to recreate them with a bit more accurate ingredients as we can.
Because as we have been upfront and honest throughout this process of us doing stuff, Megan doesn't always make the correct decisions when it comes to food.
Well, it's more, think of it this way. The website is like seeing all of our scientific results. The book is the published results. It's the final testament of the work.
The websites are experiments.
Exactly.
That's a better analogy.
That's what I was saying.
No. No.
So anyway, the Kickstarter will go up on Wednesday. It's going to run until April 30th. The goal is pretty high. It's 38,400. That is in Canadian, so it's what, 25,000 USD?
I don't know. It's Canadian money is funny money.
It is funny
To
money.
be honest with you, I'm genuinely surprised Canada is actually able to function as a world economy. The money here, it's absurd.
Someday Canada's
Someday Canada will be a real boy.
I do believe in them. They have like most of the Hollywood industry and video game industry here.
Yeah, but
Someday.
yet they still can't figure out currency.
I mean, they know currency. They're just not allowed to play at the big boy table.
Oh no, they're allowed. They just keep limiting themselves. I think that it's a lot of Canada shooting themselves in the foot.
Okay. I can
Yeah.
see that.
I think a lot of it is just, I love living in Canada, but Canada does a lot of stuff that is counterintuitive to advancing anything.
I was gonna say there's a lot of bending over backwards when other countries ask for something.
Yeah.
It becomes like, yeah, we'll do that.
they take the whole being nice a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And in the end, they end up getting the raw end of deals because they won't advocate for themselves.
Yeah. That is kind of the rough part about being Canadian-ish.
Yeah. But getting off of that,
But so yeah,
it's the cost is high because we do have to repurchase all the foodstuffs again. And on top of us, repurchasing all that food stuff, we have to,
publish.
put it all together and publish it. And that's not exactly cheap.
I was going to say editors are a bit expensive. In some of the cases, we're going to have things like illustrations, photography. For the most part, I am a reasonable photographer, but there will be some things that we will need to coordinate with the publishing company on. And yeah, that's really the big thing.
Yeah, so it's going to be, kind of a shock when you see how much we're asking for, but at the same time, it's if we want to make this work, we need the help.
Exactly. And I think overall, this will be one of those kind of things that will be great to have, especially if you are a foodie who just wants to try foods that you would never have thought about being together, or if you are, a history nerd who just needs to know the basis without, digging through 1,000 white papers.
Yeah, that's the thing is that we've done all the research, we've tortured ourselves with it, and you guys are going to get a benefit off of our
Enjoy the fruits of our labor.
yeah. But the big selling point to it is if you pledge how much on the Kickstarter,
I believe it's 50.
you will get access to all of the recipes. And we're not just talking the recipes that go up on the website, we're talking Patreon recipes.
Yeah, because that's one thing that we don't talk about very often is the Patreon part of all of this. We do post those bonus recipes of like desserts and extra, dishes that didn't make it to the final cuts and things like that. And so if you were to pledge the top, you not only get the print cookbook, but you get the digital version, you get them earlier, and you're going to get the archive of all the Patreon posts.
Yeah.
So.
And the cookbook's going to have some of the dessert stuffs that we do make in Patreon. Because, it's a cookbook. You can't have a cookbook without
Recipes.
a dessert section. It'd make for a boring cookbook. And I'm sitting here thinking about it and I'm going, what would we do for the drink section? Drink water?
It's gonna be a lot
Yeah,
of booze.
I think that one's going to be one we have to figure out.
So I didn't intend to have a drink section in the cookbook.
Well, I'm not going to sit there and tell people how to microbrew
No.
because I don't know how to do it and I am not going to learn.
I feel like at some point, if we start telling you how to make your own hooch, someone's gonna get poisoned.
Yeah,
So we're not gonna do that.
no. But we might, we'll flirt with the idea of putting it in there, but it might just be a section of drink water, make sure it's not brackish.
The key knowledge that you need to know as a early human.
This is how long you need to boil water for. Those kinds of things,
Important.
Yeah.
But
we're excited about the cookbook. We're
Yeah.
excited that it's finally, coming about. It's something we've literally spent the last year or so of our lives
focusing
on this blog and the website, the podcast. All of these things are just all adding up and culminating in this cookbook.
So now that we've finished talking about the cookbook, and we did a couple little plugs for Patreon there, we're going to go ahead and move on to the recipe for this next weekend. So, like we had mentioned, we were focusing on the cultures. So we did Mayan last week. This week, we're going to move forward to Olmec. And the Olmec, all I really know about them are the big heads.
Yeah, the Olmec are one of those that they get overshadowed. Overshadowed? Is that the correct term?
Yeah, overshadowed.
Okay. They get overshadowed by the Aztecs and by the Mayan. But they were a large player in Mesoamerica. Or Central America, should I say. Is it Mesoamerica?
It's called Mesoamerica.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still, like I said, that medication's got me all messed up. But they were a large player. And they are all too often forgotten about. So when we started doing the research for this recipe, we just assumed, okay, you know what? the foodstuffs that we used before, we're going to be able to use again.
Not quite. So, one of the big things with the Olmec is they, like most cultures, focus on other foods as like their main source. The Mayans and the Aztecs, corn is critical to their lives. Was the term Z-centric?
Z-centric. I don't know. I've when I was doing another video for the Brad's Lab stuff, I came across this word, and it basically means over focused on corn. But it it was a word that this other archaeologist made up when they could have literally just said over focused on corn. So yeah, but
Take it as you can.
right.
But with the Olmec, a lot of their focus was more low preparation foods, like things like squash, tomatoes, things you could eat without cooking.
Yeah.
Um, and they ate quite a bit of deer. We know that from the records. More fish than deer. Deer was kind of a celebratory, but it's one of those kind of things that deer is really accessible here. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to do deer.
No, we're going to do deer.
We're doing deer.
We teased deer. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
We're doing deer.
We're doing deer.
Oh dear.
So we're gonna go to the butcher, secure ourselves some whitetail, and eat deer.
Yeah, I want to grill it, but it all depends on if we get another blizzard out of nowhere.
Let's say we have not been treated too well by the weather.
Oh my goodness.
We look back home to Kansas City, and it's nice and warm, and here we just keep getting hit by blizzard after blizzard. And the weather will tease us. Like, it was supposed to get really warm towards the end of this week, and now it's going, no, you're getting more snow.
You get snow and you like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because this winter was so mild. I was like, Canada has nothing on Kansas City, and now it's just nothing but snow.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't know, but spring will get here eventually, and we'll be back to cooking outside.
A lot.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, our garden will live in our dining room.
Yeah, we started a garden to make some of the stuff that we're using to cook more accessible for ourselves. And we were supposed to be able to plant it this coming weekend.
Yeah.
But the Farmer's Almanac didn't take into account global climate change.
Yeah, it lied to us.
It didn't lie to us. It's just climate change is making everything unpredictable.
That's true. Yeah. You can't plan a year ahead in those ways.
No. But, we are lucky enough that we can at least plant them inside and, let them grow. Unlike back in the day when, they had freak snowstorms and the crops just failed.
That's true.
So, it's kind of a full circle thing for us here.
It's very nice. It's very nice. So yeah, so what we're going to be focusing on is hopefully be able to cook the deer outside. If we can't, we got a fantastic cast iron in the kitchen we can use. Make ourselves some venison steaks.
Yeah. Might take and make some venison steak, and, I'm sitting here thinking about it making a stew.
He just always wants a stew.
Well, I mean, it's right now the weather outside screams stew. But I'm going, okay, how many stews did they make down in Central America?
They did make quite a. So the Olmec are famously known for the clay pot cooking, where they would hit the clay pot, put all the mixture in there, and put it on the side of a fire.
Do you know why?
Because easy.
Because crock pot meals are the best meals. All right. That is the one thing that ever since humans developed, pottery, we have figured out ways to time save. And one of the best ways to time save is just throw everything into one pot, turn it on to high
Walk
or low,
away.
whatever you want to do, walk away, and you come back and you've got ready-made meal right there. The crock pot is just universal.
It is genius, but I want something different this time. We've been eating nothing but stews for like 2 months.
You know what? You complain.
I do complain.
But you got meals.
I do got meals. I got lots of meals.
Yeah, good meals. And, we were actually talking about the last meal, how easy it was.
It was super easy.
And, it was just a lot of low effort for us, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going, I want that high effort stuff again.
I don't need high effort, but I do want a little bit more. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. And that's really it. I'm playing catch up right now on the dessert recipes up at the Patreon. One thing to note that you may not realize, if you wanted to listen to our podcast ad free, you can become a patron and I upload them when they're done.
Yeah. We also have them on YouTube.
Yep.
You can go listen to the podcast on YouTube because that's
A thing now.
a thing now. Yeah, we basically are trying to find any way we can to make it easier, and whatever way you choose to listen to.
Us rambling about food.
Yeah. So if there's a way that we haven't figured out yet, let us know and we'll see if we can't implement it.
For sure. But that's really it for this week. We're just gonna be busy working on all of this. I will get some of the desserts moving forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just gonna keep trucking along at this Kickstarter. So
Yeah, it's exciting. We're excited. Nervous, but excited.
moving forward.
It'll be the first time that I've ever written a book. I mean, you got my dissertation, but I wouldn't sell that for anybody to read. I wouldn't even put that thing up online for anybody to read.
I liked both of his dissertations. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's only because you had to read them so much you got Stockholmed into it.
I care so much about hand axes from the River Tims.
But yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yep. So have a fantastic week, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.